Here we are at Ralph Waldo Emerson's home. Thoreau lived here for a while, and we thought this would be a really good place to do an interview, a mini interview with my teaching partner, Kesho Scott.
Hello.
So you were mentioning, Kesho, when we drove over here to Concord, this place does have a special feeling about it, you know. I know there's so much history here, the shot heard around the world, and all of the great transcendentalists and famous authors, Alcott and Hawthorne and, of course, Thoreau. It's just, there's something special about this place. It's quiet and relaxed, but there's just something special about it that I don't feel anywhere else. I don't know if you feel that way.
I feel that way, and in as much as yesterday we were talking with the two young athletes about the themes in our course. Authenticity, a major theme in our course. There's something about the work of the transcendentalists to be authentic in their historical moment, the 1840s up to the 1860s. They were looking for a way to maintain that in relationship to the birth of this country and the history of this country, of being a country that experimented with people from all over the world. So the groundedness for me is to be reminded, for me when I come to Concord, to remind it that this country started on the notion of being authentic for me, and I love that.
And I think that's what struck the both of us when we were planning our courses, and we made a trip out here to stay for a week as we researched transcendentalism and visited all these sites. And what really struck me was how much they were rebels. I mean, transcendentalists were rebels.
Yes, they were.
And they wanted their freedom. They wanted to be who they were and not to have the government tell them who they were to be. And I think that really is sort of the central theme of our courses, you know, to be authentic, to be yourself and not be defined from the outside.
Well, at that time, they were critical of the railroad. Can you imagine that? Industrialization. They were critical of knowledge that wasn't rooted in nature. They believed that being in nature was the source of learning and a real connection. And they believed in experience. They didn't just believe in knowledge for knowledge's sake. They believed in the experience of putting knowledge into practice, which is why there was so much civic responsibility. I mean, remember, they went to jail for their ideas, spent the night over issues of slavery at that historical time. That would have been rebel for them. So as I see that we're sitting here as successful artists, successful writers too, there's a groundedness through our courses that we're returning to students, because we're saying that their inner life is as important as their outer life. And there has to be a respect for that inner part of oneself. And that's what the inner journey is about.
Oh, well said, well said. Oh, it really strikes me though when I come here, and every time I've been to this community, how I feel that sense of ownership of who I am, that's allowed. You know, that's what this place is about.
Well, there's an element of that individualism, that early American individualism that Ben Franklin talked about, certainly Thomas Jefferson and George Washington fought for, so that as an individual you can be self-determining. And that's the part about individualism that I am not critical of. I want a person to feel that they are their own life, that it belongs to them.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm imagining them walking through this beautiful building that they lived in, and pondering how to help people at their historical time respect that individualism. And now that's what we're doing in our time, right?
Yeah, and what's interesting is how they were fighting this industrial revolution, how fast we were growing, that maybe it was too fast.
Absolutely.
Imagine what they would think today.
Well, they thought then that there was a machine in the garden. That was a key concept that Emerson and Thoreau talked about. Why bring a machine in the garden? And they believed that Concord was the Garden of Eden, and why bring a machine through it and mess it up? Well, look at the world that we live in with AI and these kind of questions of, you know, internet and everything being determined by social media, and our world, our young people having more relationships online than they do have with real people and family. This is scary business.
Yeah.
And we are now we're having these conversations like I'm sure the Thoreauian and the Emerson people had at that time. How do we look past this? I don't know.
Yeah.
It ain't easy.
Food for thought, right?
Yes, it is.
Well,
But
it's good to be back. I love this place.
Me
And
too.
now we'll head downtown and enjoy the community a little bit.
Well, you know what? It's great to be with you, Will, and it's great to have old memories and new ones. Thanks.
Amen. Amen.